Here's our list for tonight, and then I'll get you guys' opinion on... Oh, I can already tell I hate this list. Let me find another one. Sometimes
Already?
Sometimes you just go to the cover page of a list, and you see the photos they use to represent their list, and they're like, okay, they don't have a memory past 10 years.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's do USA Today. Maybe USA Today has a good list. These are, according to USA Today, the greatest movie trailers of all time.
This is very difficult. It's okay.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean...
It's difficult for me, too, because the page isn't loading very quickly. All right, here we go. All right. Here's one. They're not numbered. I don't know how many there are in this list because I don't want to scroll down to the bottom. But here, 10. The 10 greatest film trailers in history. Number 1, Alien, 1979.
That was brilliant.
This is the teaser with the egg and
yes.
the letters popping up and then the cracks and the scream and then the tagline. In space,
yes.
No one can hear you scream.
Okay, yeah.
That was, definitely one of them.
Number 2, Citizen Kane. Typical Orson Welles flair. The film's main characters cavort behind the scenes as director Orson Welles narrates.
Yes, that is another great one.
Number 3, Cloverfield, which is really that one scene of the party, and then they hear the noises and the crashes, and they step outside and they catch a glimpse of something.
Yeah, it's an effective I mean, you have to give props. It's a great trailer. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Number 4, I guess I'm on, The Exorcist.
Wait, how do we get Cloverfield, though, in between the... Okay, all right, now I'm really confused. I like the trailer.
I can't quite... I guess I remember... There was one trailer of The Exorcist that was pulled because it was too intense. Do you remember that one? And that's like the black and white silhouette of her face that kept coming in and out of darkness, and the crazy ass music.
Yeah, that is a nutty trailer. Yes.
I mean, that's enough to make somebody have
it
seizures.
Making people sick or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll say that this is number 5. Little Children. I remember that. Isn't that like the sound of a train or something?
Yeah. I don't know. The movie, I didn't think the trailer was great. I thought the movie itself actually turned out to be much better than the trailer lets on. I don't
remember that trailer.
I remember the trailer all too well, but what always surprised me is how good the movie was despite a really lackluster trailer.
Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring.
I don't remember the trailer.
Zero memory of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. Pulp Fiction trailer.
That's a good trailer. I mean, it's just such an odd category in one sense, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are much better trailers than some of these that they're listed.
I mean, I'm already thinking of 2 major trailers now.
Save them.
3 major trailers that I can think of that are not being mentioned.
I forget what number I'm on. Let's say I'm on number 7. The Shining teaser trailer, without a doubt. With the elevator opening up and the blood, without a doubt.
I mean, Kubrick made great trailers. I mean, he cut them himself. So, I mean, that and even the Full Metal Jacket trailer.
The Full Metal
Jacket
is a great trailer, yeah.
I've definitely put The Shining in there.
Number 8, maybe. It could be number 9. Sleeper, Woody Allen's Sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
The director, in the trailer, the director is interviewed about his movie, touting its cerebral and didactic tone, while he and Diane Keaton slap each other silly.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that. I'd like to check that out. Sleeper is hilarious movie.
Number 10, this is the last one on our list, Spider-Man. But they list, they list the second trailer. That first trailer, the teaser trailer, which was pulled from theaters after September 11th, that isn't in the movie, where he traps the bad guys in the helicopter between the two World Trade Centers.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that trailer, and that was a good trailer.
Yeah,
and
it was.
That scene was never in the movie, so it was completely different from what you saw in the movie. But I remember having to pull all of that, every reference to the World Trade Center, which are a couple of movies at that time. I remember having to pull all of those trailers and pull all of those posters, because even the poster for Spider-Man had the World Trade Center in it.
That's true, yeah.
Well, some movies that aren't in this, I mean, the three that I'm thinking of are, of course, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, which I would put maybe at number one. His tour of the Bates Motel and the house. But he also did a really good one for The Birds and for Frenzy as well. So, he lots of personal. I like the trailers that do something different with the footage. So, or create completely original footage for the trailer, which is almost never done these days. I think, I remember seeing a trailer for the Robin Williams movie, Toys, that was vastly better than the movie and was also, original footage shot specifically for the trailer. But another great trailer, more recent, is for The Social Network. Yep. I thought the Social Network, absolutely one of the greatest trailers I've ever seen.
With the variation of Radiohead's Creep.
Yes.
Let's backtrack for a moment, though. The trailers are, for their major purposes, to get people to see the film. And there's one of the truly greatest trailers that you did not need a great trailer for, and is obviously much better than the actual movie, is The Phantom Menace. That first trailer that is shown, that teaser trailer, is, I think, a minute or a minute and a half long, and is so much better than the finished product. It gets you very excited. It gets you worked up. And that's true also with The Force Awakens. It's not the movie is actually much better than Phantom Menace, but that teaser trailer, that first glimpse of any new material in a decade, Star Wars, we forget that's what a trailer is supposed to be. It's supposed to whip you up into a frenzy to see the movie. And there's a lot of...
But something like Star Wars, you're so anxious to see the first image from it, like any image from it. Once you've seen that, is the trailer still great? And should that be a consideration on a list like this?
Yeah, I think that should be a consideration.
It should be a huge consideration.
Is it possible that what you're remembering, Jerry, is the fact that when that image from the trailer first popped up, you were automatically excited?
No, but we're talking about we're not talking about a great movie per se. We're talking about great trailers.
I know, but what I'm saying is you were whipped up into a frenzy because this was the first time you were seeing this.
Yeah.
So it was instant frenzy.
Yeah, no, it's a frenzy, but it has to be. But that is what we're talking about. We're not talking about a great...
when you go back and look at that trailer now, do you say, wow, it's still great. It's still a great trailer, even though it's...
the Phantom Menace trailer, yeah, because it's real, because if you go back and watch the trailer, you're like, why isn't the finished product as good as this trailer? I think anyone who goes back and watches that first trailer that in November of 1998, that trailer is the movie doesn't live up to that at all. And I think that's what we need to talk about with a great trailer and a great movie are two different things. And I think this list is, in one sense, confuses that.
Well, here's a movie that I would like. Here's another trailer that I love that that I think speaks to that in some ways, and that's for Francis Ford Coppola's Rumblefish.
Yeah.
Which when I saw that, and I still like Rumblefish to a certain extent. There are many things I admire about it. I don't think it works completely, but the two things that do work in it are the Stephen Barham photography and the Stuart Copeland score, which are both front and center in that trailer, and it's so kinetically cut to that Stuart Copeland music that it's just like, wow, that was like the greatest movie ever, but it wasn't.
No.
Still, I look at that trailer and I'm like, it makes me want to watch the movie now. It's great.
Yeah, but I think we forget that with trailers and the trailer, and we could say that about a number of movies that we've talked about in the show over the last 9 years. The trailers are 9 times out of 10 far superior to the actual movie. And I do think
that's certainly true now. That might be. I don't know if that's true now or not. I'm so bored with a lot of trailers. They're just so the new thing in trailers now. Tell me if you guys have noticed this. The new irritating thing in trailers. I think we're past the age of the whole Inception blah thing. I mean, there's still little hints of the Inception, horn in movie trailers. But now the irritating trend is to take a old 70s or 60s hit and have a young girl sing it in a different way. Like they'll take, Led Zeppelin's Black Dog or something and have a young girl singing it like a little girl, like in the background as something dramatic is happening. I don't know. That's a trend that needs to die.
No, and it doesn't need to die, but there's even a greater trend that I hate. The teaser for the teaser trailer. This whole thing that we have I hate that. I mean,
coming Tuesday, an advertisement for the damn trailer.
I know. I hate that. Stupid. I cannot stand that.
I hate that. What I hate about that is that it seems to highlight trailers as a form of entertainment, and I think that there's too much emphasis on trailers at every movie going experience now. I mean, there's too many trailers.
This is why I love going to ArcLight. They'll only show you 3 trailers.
3.
They don't show you any in 3. That's it. That's all you get. Thankfully.
That's what it usually is at an art house. Is usually you get 3 trailers and that's it.
Yeah, but if you go to a major theater chain like a AMC or Regal, what is it?
30
8 or 9 trailer. You get.
30
it's
minutes
ridiculous.
Literally 30 minutes of trailers. And trailers are ridiculously long now. Like what? I remember when they used to have like time limits on trailers. Now they're like 3.5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Too long.
The first movie. I know it's not the first movie in history, but the first movie when I was working at the theater that I noticed did that was Titanic. Like the Titanic trailer was 3.5 minutes long, and we're like, oh my god, that's a long trailer. But at the same time, that in itself was which trailers are a marketing ploy to show you just how epic the movie was. Like it couldn't be contained within a 2-minute time frame, and it was an incredibly effective trailer. It told you the whole story. But it was very effective. Obviously, it got people in the theater.
It did.
The teaser trailer for Back to the Future, which didn't show any footage from the movie, it was just him and the DeLorean, like close-ups of him going in the DeLorean.
Oh yes, yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that. Another great trailer is another Kubrick movie, Dr. Strangelove. This is one that he didn't actually cut together. He hadn't gotten to the point where he was cutting his own trailers at that point in '64. So he had Pablo Ferro do the trailer. Pablo Ferro is also the designer of the credit sequence and the designer of that famous, typeface that opens, that's in Dr. Strangelove, and he also reused it for Stop Making Sense many years later. But Pablo Ferro's amazing trailer to Dr. Strangelove is just so unusual. I mean, I'm sure it's available on YouTube, and it is a nutty trailer. It must have 500 cuts in it.
Right.
And it uses a lot of graphics and stills and odd kind of non sequiturs from the movie. Just very, very unusual. And it was kind of also aped, that same style was aped for Sidney Lumet's trailer to Failsafe, not too long after that. So,
well, I mean, so many of Kubrick's movies. I mean, I'm thinking of Eyes Wide Shut too, and being so excited to see that trailer, and right off the bat being so surprised to hear a Chris Isaak song in a Stanley Kubrick trailer.
Right.
And then, I mean, the flash of imagery that ran for a minute, 20, minute and a half, however long that trailer was, it wasn't very long, just made you more intrigued. Like he's looking at a dead body on a slab, and then they're making out in front of a mirror. It's like, and Chris Isaak singing "She Did a Bad, Bad Thing," and then Nicole Kidman gives that look, and you're like, "Holy shit, what is this?" I can't wait to see this movie, and it makes it look like the greatest sexual thriller of all time, which is not really a clear representation of what that movie is. But another thing about Kubrick's movies is that it's hard to give an accurate impression of what the actual movie is, because it's so much more than the surface. It's so much more than a log line can give you, or a tagline, or a description of the movie can give you. I mean, so it's a challenge. But he was great at it. He was great at piquing the interest. There's a trailer for the initial trailer for Carlito's Way. I remember being so excited to see it, and it was right after Pacino won his Oscar. And it's an image of him in his sunglasses, close up on his face, and it lists all of his biggest movies, and it has an audio clip from each of those movies. And then it says, and now one of America's greatest actors returns to the screen, and he takes off his sunglasses, and then there's a flash of scenes from the movie. They pulled that because Sean Penn didn't approve that it didn't include any images of him. That it sold
right, I remember that.
That trailer's gone. Like, I haven't been able to find that trailer anywhere, and I've been desperate to see it since 1993 again, because I love that trailer just as a Pacino freak. Poltergeist, the trailer for Poltergeist had it didn't have any real clips from the movie, just a couple. Most of it was interviews with paranormal researchers talking about the poltergeist phenomena. So
wow,
it made it very,
I forgot about that.
Made it very palatable and reasonable, like a real field of study, like this movie's based in something from reality.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, they don't do that, and trailers can be an art unto themselves. And
oh yeah, no, they were for. I mean, I think they still are to a degree, but yeah, they were for a long time. It was a closed, speaking of closed industry, it was very hard to get in on that racket for a long time.
I really wish that they would up their game on the trailer thing. But I have seen a few trailers recently that start off in, like the Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, which is a movie I like. I thought that had an interesting trailer with it, basically starting up as just a scene from the movie, and I wish that there were more trailers like that were just like, wow, this is just a scene from the movie, and that's all it was. And I mean, in
terms of just a scene from a movie, Scanners trailer showed the exploding head scene. That was their trailer.